Today we are going to talk about the novel The Vendor of Sweets. Here our competency level is competencies 5. So extract necessary information from various types of text. And competency levels, we have selected 2 levels today. 5.6, extract the general idea of a text, and 5.7 identifies the writer's intention. So already we have discussed 4 chapters. Today we are going to start with chapter 5. Yes, the novel R.K. Narayan's The Vendor of Sweets. Yes. Now we have here our protagonist Jagan. Now he is very proud. He has a reason. My son is in America. So he has a superior complex here. He is very proud of that. So he tells this information to everybody, the chemist, the printer, and to the lawyer, and even to the vagrant at the culvert. So he shares his pride with everybody. Sometimes it delays his daily routine because he wanted to have a general talk as a custom. So there he specifies his son's presence in America. Yes, then we have a colorful airmail letter arrived by post. Now, he had almost felt the same joy as if his son has come home. Now, the letter creates a beautiful picture. Now, the letter he has got from America. Now, it creates a beautiful picture of America in his mind. But when we read the message, it is a very short letter. Arrived, New York is big. Yes, food is difficult. I am in a hostel. So he was very happy. And he was reading it again and again. But when he sees, next week I go to school. Yes, he was once again disturbed at the boy's mention of school rather than the word college. So he likes his son to go to a college, not to a school. So there he could not keep the good news to himself because he is in America. He is going to learn there. So he shares this information. So he went to the press and shared his feelings with Nataraj, and then with the lawyer and with the chemist. So everybody asks from him a similar question. Have you received a telegram? Jagan didn't like that question because sending telegram is a very easy task, and the other thing, it costs less money, and he thinks that it is below his dignity. He thought that everybody is going to puncture his pride. Now he has his pride as his son is in America. Now he is going to share the pride with the neighbors about his visit there and the letter he has sent to him. So the similar question, the same question is repeated. So he doesn't like that. He thinks that it is, they are going to puncture his pride. So, and at the same time, he is not happy with their remarks. So then he shared the message with his cousin. Now he knows that he will give a different answer for that, definitely. Yes. Then he says to cousin, the boy has reached the other end safely. So as he wishes, he gives a very positive answer here. Excellent news. So then he reminds Jagan, you must offer a couple of coconuts to Ganesh. Who is Ganesha? God Ganesh. So once again, the writer brings their religious nature. Now, maybe they have made a vow here for their son Mali and his safety. So his cousin, his friend cousin reminds him that. So likewise, we can see their religious nature. So after that, unlike Mali is in India, he wrote to him frequently. Mali wrote to Jagan frequently. The blue airmail letters grew into a file. And Jagan thinks that it was a treasure to him. Why? We can see his fatherly affection. So though he is not with him, now he sends him letters and he reads them and he feels happy. And he shows his fatherly affection by collecting these letters. So he collects them. And he starts reading the letters again and again. So there he forms a picture of America by reading the letters. So his reading of Bhagavad Gita, now we know his daily routine, he reads his Bhagavad Gita every day. So his reading of Bhagavad Gita was replaced by the blue airmail letters. So there also we can see his affection. By reading these letters, he shows them. So at the same time, he is suffering from a talking disease, we can say, talking disease. Why? He wants to share this information with everybody. So the news of America and the American life and their manners, and the news was passed to everybody. So what happens there? So all the people in Malgudi knew everything. Even an accident was there, Malgudi people knew the accident in America. So because the news went on, and we know in chapter 5, we can know all the information about his life in America. Now we have another message after 3 years. So he sends him a letter, I've taken to eating beef. And here what happens to Jagan? Now his religious nature, now he is not like to eat beef, fish or anything. So when his son is going to eat them, once again it troubles to him. So Mali gives a good reason here. According to him, killing cows in India will solve many problems. What are they? So it will solve their food problem, so the problem of stray cattle, like that. But Jagan can't agree with that. Why? We all know cow is their religious animal. Their holy cow. Now Mali is suggesting to kill them. So here Mali at the same time thinks cow as a worthless creature. So here he really tries to pollute the Hindu identity. Now they have their own identity. Now that is, cow is their holy animal, and if they are going to kill them, it is going to pollute their identity. So at the same time, it is against their culture. So Jagan can't agree because cow is their holy animal and it is against their culture. Nobody can agree with that. So in the same chapter, now we see his return. That means he sends Jagan a message, a letter, arriving home, another person with me. So we know that Mali came with another person. Still, Jagan doesn't know who is this another person. And when Jagan sees his son, Jagan was overwhelmed by the spectacle of his son because his son has grown taller, broader, and fairer. So he wore a dark suit with an overcoat, and here Mali looked like a stranger. So Jagan felt uneasy. So he could not talk with his son easily. And Jagan could not control his feelings also, whether to call him sir or not, because his appearance has changed. Now he can't talk him very easily. Why? His appearance disturbs him again. And at the same time, this scene adds humor, Pute. Why? Jagan's discomfort with his own son is highly comical. So at the same time, his inner mind says, fills with his pride. He is proud of his son at the same time. But what happens to him? Normally, we know even our fathers and your father, but they think like that as Jagan feels about his son. So, other person, now he has lots of questions here with that other person. But when Mali introduces her, this is Grace. We are married. Grace, my dad. Now, Mali is introducing Jagan Grace, and Grace is introduced his father. So, but when Mali says we are married, now again, Jagan's mind is filled with questions. Married. When were you married? Because Jagan got letters, but he didn't tell anything about his marriage. Now he is thinking, married. When were you married? You didn't tell me. Don't you have to tell your father? Who is she? Now, here he falls into a severe mental agitation. Why? Because he can't get the answers from Mali, and all these questions are unanswered. He can't get answers for these questions because he can't talk with him. Then when Mali addresses her honey, now lovable word, now Mali addresses Grace as honey, and here Jagan misunderstands. And Jagan thought that it was her name. And when they go home, what happens there? As a father, Jagan treats Grace in a pleasant manner. Jagan gives his friendly hand to her. And we, at the same time, we can see both father and son, they lead their lives without interfering each other. They don't get a close relationship there. Father treats the daughter-in-law in a pleasant manner, but he can't talk with his own son like that. So they seldom talk. Once again, we see that there are problems. So why can't they talk closely? Why can't they share their feelings? So as readers, we have lots of questions here. So then what happens? Now we can see the changes in Mali. So a challenge is there. What is that challenge? So Mali never wore a dhoti, the traditional Hindu costume. He wore dark trousers with a white shirt. So he has turned out to be an American. Actually, this is a serious challenge to Jagan. We know already Mali had embraced the American culture. So he has become a victim of American culture also. So when he is at home, he wears slippers. We know that Jagan doesn't like that. So there again, they had to live in two different worlds. Jagan started living his own room. So he has an isolated life there. And house has been divided into two. And their traditional ancestral house is threatened. Why? Because there are two cultures in two parts. But Grace is different here. But one morning, Grace came to his part, and there we were able to learn about her parents. Now we know she is half Korean and half American girl, and their conversation is very important. Why? Because as the readers, we can learn more about Mali and Grace. So when Grace wants to prepare his meals, Jagan in a very friendly manner says about his food habits. What are his food habits? Salt-free, sugar-free food. And at the same time, he tells about his book, Nature Cure. So here again, Pute, we have a question. Now, Jagan prefers sugar-free food items. But what is his profession? He is selling sugary food. So there we can have there is a problem regarding his behavior, his life, his profession. So he does not consume that, but he sells that. So we can, when we take the character Jagan, we can talk about this matter and be careful. You have to note about that. So we can say chapter 5 is very important chapter. Why? It tells much about Grace and Mali. And here we see Jagan's troubles are increasing day by day. And readers are left in suspense regarding Mali's future. So always Mali is talking about a telephone here. So he says that he wants a telephone to do his work, to arrange his future work. So we can say chapter 5 is very important chapter, so for the flow of the novel. So then we will start with chapter 6. Yes, chapter 6. Yes. Now Jagan does a very nice thing here. Now earlier he was talking about his son with cousin. Now Jagan avoids talking about his son even with the cousin. Yes, but cousin here, he thinks of that. So one day he brings a topic to talk with Jagan, and they just exchange ideas, and they talk about different things. So there Jagan is very proud Why? He is going to tell that I came late this morning because Mali wanted to discuss his plans. Mali wanted to discuss his plans with me. So why did Jagan tell like that? He wanted to impress the cousin. That means he wanted to show that his son is talking with him and he does not want an agent to talk with his own son. So that is what Jagan wanted to do. But when he says like that, cousin talks about a different thing. What is that different thing? So there he talks about scooter riding boys. Now we know who are these scooter riding boys. One is kerosene agent's son. The other one is the man from the button factory. And the other one is district judge nephew. Now here they talk about the scooter. That means here about their vehicles. Here Jagan generalizes this. Boys must have their own vehicles. They don't like to walk. So here Jagan does not talk about his son's plans. Why? Because he does not know anything about that. He can't share his ideas about his son's ideas with cousin. So their cousin does a very nice thing. Finally, cousin comes to the point. Now he is going to say, now have you any idea of his plans? And are you in favor of his scheme? Then only Jagan realized about his plan. That means which scheme? Now the word scheme, he does not know anything about that. And Jagan was surprised by this. When cousin is going to reveal that Mali wants to manufacture story writing machines. So here we have a very important topic, story writing machine. Now cousin tells the news. Jagan was surprised. And here cousin says more information about it. Haven't you heard of story writing machine? So he is going to explain about this machine to Jagan. So in a way, this is a matter of victory for cousin. Why? Because he is talking here about American knowledge. Now, normally Indian people, they don't know anything about this story writing machine. So this is a matter for him to happy. Now he is going to share his knowledge with the friend Jagan. So this is not just an ordinary machine. So he goes on explaining the machine to Jagan. This is not an ordinary machine. It is an electronic story writing machine. It sounds very interesting. So those are the things that cousin is going to tell about the machine. Jagan doesn't know anything about it. So there, what happened to him? So next day, he went to his son. He talked about this machine with his son. Yes, he is going to explain. Now, we know Mali has a machine. Here you can see this in your picture. So he is going to explain it. With this machine, anyone can write a story. So he is going to explain it. Now we know In this machine, there are 4 knobs. One is for characters. And the second knob is for the plot. And third one is for the climax. And the other knob is for the story is made up of, that means the mix, that means characters, situations, emotions, and climax. And everything is given by that knob, by connecting each and everything. So now here we see Mali's intention is to manufacture machines and sell them. So Mali wants to use it and to sell it. Now here again he explains about characters. Now he can select good characters, bad characters, like that. And climax is also same. Now they can select what they like. So actually this is fantastic, because we know art cannot be created by ordering. Here they are going to order something to the characters, to the plot, and for everything. So it is not actually an art, it is a mechanical process, we can say. So Jagan, we know he doesn't know anything about it and his mind is filled with questions. So there, the most important information comes out. So Mali does not show it to tell about it to his father, but there is a very important information about it. What's that? He needs $51,000 to start the business. So it is a collaboration with American people, collaborative work with America. So he proposes to manufacture and market it in India with American people. So Jagan can't understand this. So we know when Mali refers 2 books here. Once again, we have the 2 names of 2 books in India, Mahabharata and Ramayana. So Mali thinks that they are all stories. So here, by using this machine, he wants new stories, like in America. Now it is clear. And even here, he invites his father to join his business after giving up his sweet making. There he rejects his own culture because he rejected 2 all books. So very simply, Mali wants to invest money. Mali wants to invest money. So there Mali is asking Jagan to make this huge investment. The total burden falls on Jagan. Though Jagan understands nothing here, he thinks this is an impossible task. So he can't invest such a lot. It is a big amount of money. Actually, he can't calculate the amount of money here to Indian rupees. So there he discusses this matter with cousin, as he can't calculate the amount. $50,000 in rupees. Now we know it is over 2 lakhs. So here we know Jagan can't make this huge contribution, and if he is going to invest in this, it is going to ruin him financially. A financial ruin. So Mali's demands go on increasing day by day, and Jagan avoids him here. So now Jagan doesn't give a very clear answer to Mali. So one day, what did Mali do? He came to his puja room. Now, puja room is another symbol of their religious nature. To show their religious nature, we can take that puja room also. Every day he goes to there to worship the gods. So nobody disturbs him when he is there. But here he comes and he explains how electricity can be used for everything, like washing, grinding, calculating. And this talk disturbs once again Jagan. Yes, so there he thinks for a while he thinks that always Mali is dictated by Grace. Because Grace is there. Grace belongs to the American culture. She is a half Korean, half American girl. So, because of this, Jagan grows some misunderstanding. He misunderstands Grace, but actually we can't give an answer for that. So, now when he goes to his sweet mart, on the way, people ask about this. Yes, once again, he meets the beggar at the statue corner. One day he met him. And the beggar asks, what the little master doing? So, very short answer Jagan gives. He will be starting a factory soon. So, there Jagan doesn't wish to continue his conversation. Now, earlier when he was in America, when he was sending letters, he was continuing their conversations. But here he does not want to continue them. He goes to press. So there again, something strange happened. So Nataraj reveals the details about Mali's new business. But still father doesn't know anything. So it is about Mali's new enterprise. And Jagan's name was printed. And Grace, the name of Grace was there. And Scooter writing friends' names were there. So he has printed some leaflets about his would-be company. So Jagan doesn't like to talk about this even with Nataraj. So when he goes to his sweet mart, there also he is silent. Why? He can't give anything. He can't share his ideas with the others because he doesn't know anything about them. So as usual, he reads Bhagavad Gita. So there he tries to get an external message. So we know that reading Bhagavad Gita, it is a religious book. So reading the book for long hours colors outlook on life. So, but he doesn't practice these meritorious deeds in Bhagavad Gita. So he reads it. Why? As a habit, as a custom. And but though he is silent here, the city was soon flooded with the news about this new enterprise by Mali. So now he doesn't use his motorcycle, scooter. He has bought a new car. So his son's plans always disturb this old man, Jagan. His happiness is lost. So A silent tension is there in his mind. But here we have again Grace. In the same chapter, now we know Grace wants to be a Hindu wife. She wants to change. She wants to be a real Hindu wife. And here she talks as a traditional Hindu wife. She learns the traditional Hindu customs. And there he learns Friday as a auspicious day to them. And she reveals and she shares her idea with father-in-law. As it is a Friday, I have remembered my duties as a Hindu wife. Friday is a very special day, a puja day for them. So now here, Grace wants to be friendly with father-in-law. So what has she done there? She has washed the doorsteps and decorated the threshold with white flour. Washing and decorating. So she has learned all the art of Indian culture. And she says, very proudly says, I am able to bend down and draw the design on the floor. So we know that they are friendly, but Jagan can't talk with his son directly. Again, their conversation, it was broken by Mali. He calls Jagan. I must talk to you. Why? Mali's head is full of novel writing machine and about his new business. So Mali said, we have to make a beginning. Now, already Mali has planned everything, but he has no money. He is asking his father to invest money, but father doesn't like to invest money. So here we see again a very good conversation with them. Yes. Directly Jagan says, I am a poor man. Yes, Gandhi always advocated poverty and not riches. So he wants to tell Mali, his own son, that he is a poor man. So why does he tell like that? Because he doesn't like to invest money. As a business-minded person, he knows if he is going to invest such a big amount of money on some other's business, it will be a loss for him. But here Mali is arguing, and yet you earn your 1,000 rupees a day. So 1,000 rupees a day, according to Mali, it is a big amount. So here Jagan says, if you feel you can take up the business. So he likes to give his business power to his own son. But once again, clash comes. I have better plans than to be a vendor of sweets. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want to be a vendor. So once again, the gap between old generation and young generation, it is a gap. Normally, young generation, they do not admit what the old generation does. Always there is a clash. We know that. So Jagan is silent. He can't give any answer for that. And he goes to the shop. And there he takes a very important decision. As Mali told him that he is earning 1,000 rupees a day. Now he is going to reduce the price of sweets. So it will be a decision. Uh, I can't say it is a good decision. It will be a good decision for the customers. So we see chapter 6 is again very important. Why? Father-son conflict we can see now as the major theme of the novel. Father-son conflict is further developing and suspense is created because he is going to reduce prices. Now we don't know what will happen after reducing the price. So dear children, in this chapter also writer was able to create suspense. So we as readers are eager to know what is going to happen. So in chapter 7, we find this. Now, what happens in chapter 7? He orders that the price of sweets shall be reduced. He orders that. So price reduced. So the sale, what happened to the sale of the day? It had a roaring sale. So by early afternoon, all the sweets were sold. The shop entrance crowded, it was crowded. All men, young men, children, beggars, laborers, and everybody was there. Trays were emptied very quickly. But they didn't prepare anything new. So after they finished selling the stuffs, what happened? The staff was allowed to go home early. So he has taken a decision here and everybody is surprised about it. So as a vendor, as a seller, and he says, we shall reduce nothing either in quantity or quality. Now they have reduced price, but not in quality wise or quantity wise. It is not reduced. So we know the quality of his sweets, it is very good quality. He uses good ingredients. He uses pure butter, pure ghee to make his sweets. So the cooking staff in his shop, Shivaraman and the other cooks, they had lots of questions regarding this. So they were good technicians and everybody questions, but he doesn't give a clear answer for this reduction. So he did again a nice thing. Now they finished their work in early hours and Jagan asked his staff to read Bhagavad Gita. We know reading Bhagavad Gita is one of his habits. So he asks everybody to read the religious book. And he says, I will read to you from Bhagavad Gita every day for an hour. He wanted to share the messages in this religious book with the others. Sometimes we know that he is not going to practice the things in the religious book. But anyhow, he reads the book. Now he wants to share it. So another problem comes now. Now normally there are other sweet marts in this market road. There are so many other vendors. As Jagan reduced price, they have problems. What is that? Now they can't sell their products. Why? Their price is high. So they came to meet him. Who are they? There are three. Say from Anand Bhavan restaurant, a man who runs a canteen, he also came to meet him, and a very special person, white bearded man. So why did they come? They had come to protest against his sudden reduction of prices. So it is a great loss. So we know Jagan as a businessman. He is a very shrewd man. And there he did not allow them to come to the point. Now they talked about something else. Now they wanted to talk with him about the problems. Now he was ready to give them some drinks. Yes, now when they asked the question, you are making a drastic reduction in the price of your sweet. Yes. His direct answer was yes. May we know why they wanted to know the reason here. So that people may enjoy the eating of sweets. Now, Pute, we know he is always against of consuming sugar food. He doesn't consume them, but he sells them. So you can argue with that. So what happened to their deep discussion? And their deep discussion reveals us the ingredients they use to make sweets, the pure ghee, the pure butter. So there we know Jagan is the only person who is using these pure stuffs. But others we can't say that they don't use them. But they are not using them. Always Jagan's policy is quality. Quality wise, his sweets are the best. That is why he has the best selling. They had a long discussion with this. So then after the discussion, they disperse. And again we meet here Jagan and Chinnadore, another new character, Pute. Chinnadore, we know the bearded man who came to meet him was Chinnadore. So we know his guru is Periyadore. So they discuss about his guru. Who is his guru? Chinnadore's guru is Periyadore. So Chinnadore describes about the gods in a nearby temple. Now this is a very religious talk, we can say. Chinnadore describes about the gods in a nearby temple. Now, what are the feelings about here, Jagan's feelings? Here, Jagan regrets. He feels sad. Why? Normally, we know he doesn't go to the temples. He goes to his shop. He reads his Bhagavad Gita. He inspects the work there. And he can't go to a temple. His job is very monotonous. and his job of frying and cash counting. For him, it is more important than visiting temples. So here Jagan regrets as he was unable to visit those temples. Now when Chinnadurai talks about them, he feels sad. So here Jagan wants to meet him. He wants to go to that temple. So he asks more information about his guru. So the gods in every of the temples were carved by our master. So then he gives a list of idols that his guru has carved. So in every temple, so he has been using these idols, he has been making, carving, building, we can say. But what happened here? What happened to those things? Now when Jagan wants to see them, he gives a nice answer. Now, where does he live? He lives in a quiet, lonely place in other side of the river. Now, Puti, we know his locations are very important here. Now, again, as in the other novels, he is giving the river. Now, he lives in the thick jungle. Always he is using rivers, jungles, streets, like that. Now he comes to the point here. Guru lives in a quiet, lonely place in the other side of the river. Lives in the thick jungle. So here we know that Jagan was impressed by his speech. And he is giving the names of gods at those shrines designed by Guru. So as a religious man, he talks here. But later we identify him as somebody else. Who is that? Now we later, at the end of the chapter, we identify him as an image maker. Who is an image maker? He makes the white hair looks black. So what is his service? His service is to make people look young. So again, Jagan has a point here. Now, he is an image maker. He makes people look young. He color white hair into black. So Jagan brings out a point about his book, about nature cure. If your diet is controlled according to nature's specifications, you will never see a gray hair anywhere. So that is what Jagan wanted to tell. Now, very important chapter. Again, why we meet a religious person here, Guru, we can call him. The news comes from Chinnadurai, though he is an image maker. So again, our suspense is created by the writer. Now we don't know what is going to happen in the next chapter. Whether Jagan goes there or not, we can't predict. So dear children, chapter 5, 6, 7. Now here I want to tell you, now you must read all these 7 again and again, all these 7 chapters. Now in each chapter, we have specific characters. So you, in chapter wise, please write about them. Write the names of the characters, the time, the setting of each chapter, Then if you can identify any theme, so please mention that. And the other most important information. So each and every chapter, there are many good information. We can collect them. So please read it and find out. So then at the end of the novel, you will get a good collection about the novel. Now, if we are going to write notes, now if you are going to write somebody else's notes, it is in vain. Now, if you can collect information in the book in using your own words, it is better. When answering a question, it is better. Because the ideas you get, it is different from somebody else's ideas. But you can't, if you use somebody else's information or somebody else's notes, it is not good for you. Why? Because you can't score more marks there. So Pute, please find out the themes and important information about the chapters in each and every chapter, and please be ready with them when writing answers. Now, after discussing about this, that means about all the chapters in the novel, we will be hoping to discuss the themes and the characters and some important questions about the novel. So before that, Pute, please be ready with your information and your notes. So I think you have got a clear idea about these 3 chapters. So if I am going to tell you, chapter 5 is very important. Why? Because we can get details about a new character, Grace, and return journey of Mali. And in chapter 6, we have another new thing, story writing machine, and about Jagan's troubles. And in chapter 7, we have another important character, Chinnadore and Periyadore or Guru. So I think, Pute, you have got a clear idea. So I think now it's time to wind up our session. So stay safe, Pute. May God bless you all.